So, we're just here in a sort of secretish garden, which no one really comes in, to read one of my favourite books, The Secret Garden. So let's start. The last time Mary Lennox had seen her parents was in the garden outside her house in India. But then a terrible fever had swept through the house that night, and everyone had died except for Mary. She was left all alone until a letter arrived from her uncle, Mr. Craven, in England. It was inviting her to come and stay. So she went. But when she arrived, she didn't like it. It was very cold and windy, totally different to everything she knew. She arrived at the house late at night, and the housekeeper took her to a big empty room. She said, "Your uncle is away. You will be staying here." In the morning, Mary wandered out of the house into the wintry gardens, where an old man was digging. "What's behind that wall?" she asked him. "Ah," said the gardener, "that's the secret garden, but Mr. Craven shut it up when his wife died, and then he buried the key and went away." As he spoke, a little robin fluttered by and perched on the spade. He cocked his head and looked at Mary. "Will you be friends with me?" Mary said to the robin. "You sound just like our Dickon," said the gardener. "He talks to creatures too. Now run along, missy, I've got work to do." Mary watched the robin fly off and decided to follow him. "Please, will you show me the key?" said Mary to the robin. And then he started to scramble around and hop around in the soil. And she looked for the key and she found it. "Ah, now I need to find the door," thought Mary. And she searched every day for the door to the garden. And finally, she found it. And when she went inside, it was like a magical world. There was tangled up roses and spiky green shoots coming through the wintry ground. Mary spent all morning in the garden, quite entranced. The robin chirped as though he was happy that finally somebody was in the garden again. And then outside she saw a boy with a thorn by his side. "Hello, are you Dickon?" she asked the boy. "Yes," he said. "Can you keep a secret?" Mary asked him. "Oh, yes, miss. I keep secrets all the time. Secrets about fox cubs and birds' nests. Aye, I can keep a secret all right." "Well, come with me," whispered Mary, and she led him to the secret garden. Dickon looked around him as if he were in a dream. "I never thought I'd get to see this place," he said. "Will you help me? Will you help me bring it back to life?" "Oh, yes, I'd love to. We'll make it the prettiest garden in England," said Dickon. Winter passed into spring, and one blustery night Mary couldn't sleep. She could hear a strange, horrible crying. She followed the noise down dark passages until she found a door. She opened the door, and there was a boy in the middle of a bed. He looked very pale and sickly. "Hello, are you a ghost?" she asked him. "No," he snapped, "I'm Colin Craven." "Oh, Mr. Craven is my uncle," said Mary. "Why did no one ever tell me about you?" "It's because I'm not well," Colin replied. "My mother died when I was born, and my father just can't bear to look at me." "Just like the secret garden," said Mary. And she told him all about it, and the sun and the rain and the buds bursting into flower. Colin closed his eyes and he dreamed about the garden. It sounded wonderful. The next day Mary raced into Colin's room with Dickon. "Hello, I brought you a friend," she said. "Will you both take me to the garden, please?" said Colin. "Okay," they said, and they put him in his special wheelchair and wheeled him to the magic garden. When he got inside, he could not believe his eyes. The air was alive with birdsong. "I can feel things growing," said Colin. "You can work with us in the garden too, if you like," said Mary. "Okay." I'd love to. Colin's pale face grew rosy in the sun. Maybe I will even get well here, he said. And every day they played and worked hard in the garden, and every day Colin did grow stronger. If only my father could see me now, said Colin, and he started to wish. He wished that his father would come home. And then one night Colin's father was in Italy, and he had a strange dream. He heard his dead wife calling to him. "Where are you?" he asked her in his dream. "I'm in the garden," she cried. When he woke up the next day, he rushed back to England, and as he was walking down the garden path, he heard children crying and laughing. They were behind the wall of the secret garden. That can't be, he thought. I hid the key. Just then they came out of the garden, running and smiling. "Colin," said his father, "is that really you?" "Yes, I'm all better now. See, it was Mary and the garden."